Last season, Jurgen Klopp became the very manager Liverpool fans have been eagerly waiting for the past 30 years, when Jurgen Klopp and his Liverpool team got them their first Premier League title within 30 years and making them champions of England for the first time in 30 years. Now this year, Jurgen Klopp faced a very difficult test after losing out on the signing of Timo Werner and signing replacements for Diogo Jota. So today, I am putting FIFA 21 and Jurgen Klopp to the test, where we take a look at whether Jurgen Klopp can continue his legacy as one of the best managers of all time and as one of the best managers in England by winning it all once again. Here are the rules of engagement as always. No unrealistic signings allowed. As you know, I won't sign Neymar. Second, only emergency signings are allowed. That is, let's say a goalkeeper gets injured. No unrealistic replacements and no sales allowed, permanent or loan. So here's the squad we're going to be working with today and what is available to Jurgen Klopp IRL. On paper, this squad looks exceptional, unlike the teams we have looked before, that is Chelsea and Manchester United. This squad is exceptional on paper and it is really a stronghold in FIFA 21 as well, with the likes of Virgil van Dijk. Now, the formation is 4-3-3. Here are what the tactics FIFA 21 has decided, the roles and the instructions. The season began off in the Community Shield against Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, who were FA Cup champions in one of the biggest robberies of a FA Cup final, but we won 3-2. Next, the start of the Premier League season with a game at Anfield against West Ham, when West Ham made the trip all the way over to Anfield. Now, these are not real fixtures, as you can see, because Aston Villa is coming so up early, and I only showed this game because of the IRL result, and that ended in a 2-0 revenge. Next up was the game that really should have been game week 2 against Chelsea, when Chelsea made the trip all the way to Anfield, which, as you can know, these are not real fixtures. I hope the devs are looking into this bug, and which ended in a 3-1 victory for us. Next, we began a UEFA Champions League campaign against a team I cannot pronounce, so I'm sorry, but we did end up winning the game 2-1 against Michelin, I guess. Next was the start of the EFL Cup against Southampton, and this was a heavily rotated side which defeated a very strong Southampton side, I would say. Next up, the game against Ajax, when Ajax made the trip all the way from Amsterdam to Anfield, which ended in yet another 3-1 victory. We joined the month of October midway in what is going to be one of the heaviest 2 weeks of football you've ever going to see, with the first game being against Manchester United, a very big rivalry, as you can know, which we sadly lost 1-0. Next were Atlanta, who I saw as one of the biggest underachievers of last year's Champions League, which ended in yet another 2-0 2-all draw. Next, the Merseyside derby, Everton, Liverpool, Goodison, you know how it goes. I'm not even a Liverpool fan, but I know the passion in this derby, which we won 2-0. Next, Manchester United again, this time at Old Trafford in the EFL Cup, which we got knocked out of. We pick up in the month of November again in the reverse fixture of Atlanta vs Liverpool, when Atlanta come all the way over to Anfield, which we won 2-1 at home. Next, the biggest game in England for the past 4 or 5 years, Manchester City vs Liverpool at the Etihad, league title winners, which we lost 3-1. December saw an onslaught of heavy match weeks begin, with the first one being against Ajax at the Johan Cruyff Arena, which we won 3-0. Next came Mikel Arteta's Arsenal all the way over to Anfield for a replay of the FA Community Shield. This time we won easy 3-0. Next, one of the biggest games of the year, Spurs vs Liverpool, Jose Mourinho vs Jurgen Klopp, two of the biggest managers of all time, one of the biggest tactical brilliance games, which we won 3-1. Next, the game England awaits for every match week, Manchester City vs Liverpool, this time at Anfield, and we took revenge on We pick up in the year of 2021 with the first game of the year being against Colchester in an FA Cup game. With a heavily rotated side, we went all the way over to Colchester, which ended as you would probably predict, and if my game loads, 3-0. Next game, Liverpool vs Aston Villa at Anfield. I only showed this game because this was a significant moment in Liverpool history, as Liverpool's one of the longest unbeaten runs at Anfield was ended by Aston Villa. Next, Blackburn vs Liverpool, another FA Cup tie. You know how this is gonna end, a 4-0 victory. We pick up in the month of February, right before the international break, when Tottenham Hotspur make the visit to Liverpool, a game at which at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium we lost 1-0, and we lost 1-0 at Anfield again. Looks like a snowball effect. Next, from one London side to the other, Mikel Arteta's Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium this time, a game which we won 3-0 at Anfield and 3-0 at Emirates. Next, Borussia Mönchengladbach in the beginning of the UEFA Champions League round of 16, which we won 2-0. We began the month of March with the Manager of the Month trophy as well as Cardiff making the trip all the way over from Wales to Anfield, which ended in a 3-0 victory. Next, the biggest game of England yet again, this time in the FA Cup, Liverpool vs City for a chance to win the FA Cup, because you know these two are the only sides who are realistically going to win the FA Cup unless it's Anthony Taylor refereeing, which we won 2-1. Next game, the reverse fixture of the UEFA Champions League round of 16, Liverpool vs Borussia Mönchengladbach at Anfield, which we won 2-0. We began one of the most busiest months of football you're ever gonna see with the Merseyside derby, this time at Anfield, a place where Everton haven't won for God knows how many years. Next, Atletico Madrid vs Liverpool, a game which I'm pretty sure Liverpool fans hate from last season from Alvaro Morata's winner. This time at Wanda Metropolitano we won 1-0. Next, Manchester United vs Liverpool. This time we make the trip all the way over to Old Trafford and take the revenge in a 4-1 thrashing. Next, Wanda Metropolitano all the way over to Anfield. Atletico Madrid lose once again as Liverpool win 2-0. Next, Leicester vs Liverpool in a FA Cup tie, this time at the King Power Stadium in a very heavily rotated side but a very high stake game, which we won 2-0. Liverpool vs Juve, Cristiano Ronaldo vs Mohamed Salah. This time, if my game loads, I can show you a pretty good result in a 1-all draw. We picked up in the month of May in the reverse fixture against Juventus, this time in Turin, and in one of the greatest Champions League fixtures of all time in a 3-all draw. Next, if you've ever heard of a snowball effect, this is the very best example of it. We were on top of Premier League for 35 game weeks straight. We needed 6 points to win the league, and in all Liverpoolness, we lost 2-1 against Sheffield United in a horrendous game. Next, this was another 1-all draw as we lost the Premier League title to Manchester City once again. But the last game of the season was some consolation at Stamford Bridge against Frank Lampard's Chelsea, who played Charlie Musonto on left wing for some reason as we won 2-1. Next, the FA Cup final, Manchester United vs Liverpool. It doesn't get bigger than this in English football. Two of the biggest giants of English history going up for the oldest trophy in the world, and we won 1-0. From that night in Anfield, the 4-0 demolition of FC Barcelona, which saw one of the worst periods of FC Barcelona to begin, we started the UEFA Champions League final on a back note with an Ousmane Dembele goal in the 23rd minute, but fear not, Liverpool took the lead right back with the Sadio Mane equaliser. The game went absolutely dead for the next 80 minutes, right before this killer through ball and this killer finish by Diego Jota, as Liverpool made 7 a place on earth. Here's the end of season review. Our league position was runner-up. We became champions of England for the 7th time. Our top goal scorer was Roberto Firmino, and our player of the season was also Roberto Firmino with an astonishing 24 goals and 12 assists. So did Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool win it all? Well, yes and no. We finished second in the Premier League. We got eliminated in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup, but we were champions of the FA Cup as well as champions of Europe. All in all, FIFA 21 predicts a really, really successful season for Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool.